There are times where I actually get the opportunity to test out multiple camera lenses on the same shoot, and this is no different of course. In this video we're going to be checking out the 85mm f1.8 from Samyang. Going to be shooting majority of the footage on an FX3, and I did actually take some photos, so we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. An 85 is pretty much a pivotal focal length in a lot of people's careers when it comes to doing photography, and this is really no different. The lens itself, I believe, performed really well, and there's only really one way to tell.
She ain't ready for the AF. Mad as savage, me back and I'm back in it, happening, ready to blow. I remember doing deeds with Deji from the street, they left me on my own. Mom kept asking me about how I got the P, I told her leave him mama grown. Then they're ringing off my phone, Times changed, but mine's made though. I ain't got line patience, tried then, don't like bait. Let's come close, but swear that went ghost with a hair pack. Never boast loud, get your bird whacked to my condo where I bird track for the gang.
Now, if you're a prime shooter like I am, you know that having a prime on you, at least in any way, shape or form, is actually super important, especially for low light photography. And with events, you have varying amounts of light and what you can actually really do in a particular shot. Now, I'm a big fan of the FX3 because of that low light potential, but every now and then you need to go that little bit further, and having an f1.8 here is massively useful. The other side to it is that the depth of field is excellent. You know, you get that nice 85 compression whilst also getting some incredible bokeh, and it allows you to fill out different kind of shots to what you usually get. And the other lens that I brought with me was of course the 20mm f1.8. What this ended up being is a really easy setup for me to be able to swap between lenses, allowing me to go from a 20 to an 85 as and when I really wanted to. P lens that Samyang released a little while ago, you can see that these are going to be really easily to be swapped out on a gimbal, and just making the process of creating that much quicker. When it comes to prime lenses, they are a little bit kind of like hold you back when it comes to what you can actually do at any given possibility, because you can't zoom in with them. They are limiting in that form factor. However, I didn't really experience so much of that limitation because the actual size of the lens was perfect for me just to keep swapping in and out and picking the opportunities where I could really take them. Samyang are also releasing a 16mm, and when we compare the actual size, they are very much trying to keep them pretty much the same, and I'm pretty sure the 35mm still will follow along this range of sizes when it comes to the lenses. The autofocus performance is something that I was actually really quite surprised at here. Usually Samyang kind of falter here, or it just searches a little bit too much, but when needing to do kind of crowd shots or just like fast moving subjects, especially in slow motion, usually you worry about it with third-party lenses. However, in this particular situation, it pretty much tracked whatever I was looking at and whatever I was pointing at really very quickly, really adapting to the situation no matter what I really put to it, and grabbing really cool shots just from that. And I mentioned here has got to be the fire dancers that I shot at the festival, with the lens quite easily grabbing all the shots that I wanted it to when I wanted it to. Now, you do have a manual focus switch on the side of the lens that does allow you to change out, but in low light, high speed, this performed excellently. This lens surprised me. Now let's talk a little bit about the price. So the price of the lens is around about £349, making it a really affordable option for you who are looking to kind of like have a set of lenses maybe, or just get an 85 that is just going to be reliable in any kind of situation. I think this pretty much sells it. The only thing here that I feel like would actually get in the way of this would be maybe sharpness, if it was a really, not very sharp lens. And well, let's have a look into that right now. With the next couple of images, you really got to understand that I was shooting this with an FX3, but zooming in you can really see the amount of detail on that 12 megapixel sensor that is actually retained there. In fact, I'm quite impressed with this. If I shot it on an A1, can only imagine the amount more detail that I would have ended up getting from this lens. And overall, I feel like this is a really decent package, which left me wondering. And well, it really comes down to this. Say 5 is a decent size. You can get images from it that are absolutely excellent. It's perfect for your A7C liner, A7 III, you know, a lot of the beginner orientated full frame cameras, but also your nice APS-C models there as well. If you're looking at this is a lens that allows you to grow into the professional area really easily. You don't necessarily need a GM Mark II in order to take decent photos. An 85 Samyang will do the job, and that's the thing with Samyang is, although they're not necessarily the highest on the tier list when it comes to the brands that are currently out at the moment, what they have is some really decent tech that will get you through those situations that you need to. But even if you're just a hobbyist, this isn't necessarily just a professional's lens. You can pretty much put this into any situation, be it shooting portraits, doing professional jobs, or anything else. It's a lens that has a lot of potential. Now, when you're looking to buy a lens, that's really what you've got to weigh it against. Very expensive lenses have a lot of potential, but they also come with a large price tag. When it comes to this one in particular, has a really decent price tag, offering you a clean, clear image quality and just an all-round little powerhouse of a lens, and sometimes that's all you really need. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, follow, subscribe if you want to see more. Have a good day.